Hello, and welcome to this workshop, Money When You Need It, Your Guide to Emergency Loans. My name is TK, and I will be your facilitator for this workshop. I wanted to start with a bit about me. I hold a teaching license from Florida, as well as qualified teacher status from the UK. I have over 10 years of teaching international schools in Japan and Vietnam. And here's some pictures of me in my prime when I was teaching in both Japan as well as Vietnam. Here are some rules for the workshops, but this is a recorded one, you don't need to worry about the rules, but there is one rule that I'd like you to hold if possible. I will ask you to pause during parts of this workshop to have a think, to generate ideas. Please do so. It's okay if you don't. It's not like I'm going to check, but please do so if possible. So, let's start today's workshop. You need to borrow $1,000 for 3 months for an emergency. What are some ways that you might be able to get that money? Write some answers, or please pause right now and think about some answers. Please pause. All right, welcome back. I'm hoping that you paused. So let's look at some most common and popular ways that people get emergency loans. By the end of the workshop, you will better understand the most common type of emergency loans, better understand how to effectively compare loan rates, as well as better understand how you can access affordable emergency loans through Express Credit Union. The most common types of emergency loans are installment loans. Installment loans are a fancy name for a loan with a regular, predictable payment, such as personal loans, payday loans, or title loans. It can be auto, car, something like that, boats, RVs. Second type is called revolving loans, which is payment based on the amount you use. And the most common type of a revolving loan is a credit card. And there are other options, but these mentioned are the most common. So, were your guesses one of these? If so, good job. Before I move on, there are some key terms I'd like to define just so we're all on the same page. And the first key term is collateral, which is an asset you own, such as a car, house, or valuables that you pledge to lenders to secure your loan. So, like with an auto title loan, it's your car. If you're unable to repay, the lender may use this collateral to recover the loan amounts. So if you're unable to repay the money on your auto title loan, the lender can unfortunately take possession of your car. But the benefit is that using collateral makes you a lower risk borrower and can sometimes help you qualify for a loan even with less than perfect credit scores. Because if you don't repay, they can just take your car. So that's why you're a lower risk. APR stands for annual percentage rate, which is the yearly cost of borrowing money. Laws and regulations in America require the disclosure of APR, so you'll normally see an APR. So let's start with the first type of emergency loan, which is a personal loan. You'll also hear signature loans. They're both interchangeable. You might hear me use both. Personal loans don't require collateral, but because of that, they require good credit score, and your interest rate depends on the credit score. Personal loans are typically between 1,000 to 50,000, and at Express, 200 to 30,000. For a personal loan, you don't need a perfect credit score, and at Express, we also offer different personal loan products that better fits your needs. For example, loan consolidation loans. The next type of emergency loan is called a payday loan. Again, doesn't require collateral or credit check, but it's different from a personal loan in that it only requires proof of income or employment verification. If you remember, a personal loan usually requires a credit check and somebody to have, even if not perfect, but fair, good credit. Whereas payday loans are very easy to get even the same day. Right? Something starting to doesn't add up, right? Payday loans are normally smaller dollar amounts to be repaid on your payday, and that's why you require proof of income or employment verification. And this is what I want to focus on. Payday loans charge very, high interest rates. Many day loan providers, in fact, like many pay loan providers, operate Indian reservations so that they don't have to follow US fair lending laws and regulations. Some people might know them as predatory lenders. The third type, oh, yes. What happens if you default on a payday loan or can't make a payment? Well, you did sign the agreement, so payday lenders can call debt collections, get legal action, or get you in a debt trap where you get another payday loan to pay your first payday loan. And it goes around in a spiral where you keep trying to get payday loans to pay off your previous loan with an extremely high interest rate. So there are a lot of gray areas surrounding payday loans. But still, people, because they're easy to get, they're quite popular. The third common type is called a title loan, normally an auto title loan, but as I mentioned, it can be a boat, an RV. This is where you use your car as a collateral to get a loan, usually 80% of your car's value. Lower interest rates, but can still be high. Remember, lower because you're using your car as collateral, but it can still be quite high. Less emphasis on credit scores, but they still affect your rate. And this is the downside. If you cannot repay, your car may be repossessed. Some lenders don't expect you to be able to pay it back. And they design their loans around taking your car. Unfortunately, what does that mean? That means they set really high interest rates. Of course, not as high as the previously seen payday loan, but still high enough where they don't expect you to pay back all of it. They expect you to pay back some of it and then take your car in order to make up the full amount, unfortunately. And the final thing is a credit card. Credit cards don't require collateral, but because of that, again, strong emphasis on credit check and credit history. Because of that, a lot of people might not even qualify for credit cards, unfortunately. And the best part about credit cards is you get rewards for using your cards like miles or cash back. However, too much of a good thing can sometimes be a bad thing. If you use your credit card too much, it could negatively affect your credit score. So, a credit card is something that's good to have before an emergency. It's good to get it before you need that emergency loan so that when an emergency does arise, you can use a credit card. Whereas if you already have an emergency, a credit card might be hard to get because of this. So it's time for a quiz. Again, I will expect you to pause after every question and have a think before you look at the answers. So you're going to choose the best answer. There might be some good answers, but your job is to choose the single best answer. Get ready for question number one. Please pause now. Welcome back. The correct answer is two. Collateral is an asset pledged by a borrower to secure a loan. Next question. Please pause now. Welcome back. For personal loan and credit cards, the most important thing is a good or great credit score. Like the other things can help, including a warm smile and a firm handshake, but the most important factors is this. Moving on. I know, guess how much it would cost in total to borrow $1,000 for 90 days using the average payday loan at 391% APR and a member advance loan at Express Credit Union at a 10% flat rate. No calculators. Again, it's guessing whether you're right or wrong. No, it's okay, but just guess. Please pause now and guess. Welcome back. Let's see how close your guesses were. So The average payday loan at 391% APR. Wow, what a doozy. To borrow $1,000 for 90 days, after that 90 days, the total cost of that loan is $1,964. Whereas $1,000 for 90 days at a 10% flat rate, hopefully that's pretty easy. $1,100, right? Hopefully you're starting to see that there can be a big difference, right? Doing a little research and trying to plan ahead can save you a lot of money. And in this case, for an emergency, you can save over $800. And then there's this question, like, TK, how can I compare loans? There's this loan, there's that loan. There's so many ways to calculate loans. APR, interest rate, flat rate. Car dealerships will be like cost per month, cost per week, maybe even cost per day, right? Like, yeah, don't focus on the total price, just focus on the cost per week, cost per month, and that's how they get you, right? So here's a tip. Focus on the total cost of the loan, which means the principal, the interest, the fees, etc. $1,000 for 90 days at 30% APR, like that'll be hard to calculate. Or you can ask the loan department to calculate for you what's the total cost. And that's the total cost. That's so much easier just to grasp and to understand than $1,000, 90 days, 30% APR. Ask lenders for the total dollar cost to help you compare loans. Okay, moving on. Credit cards. So the average credit card interest rate is 28.19% APR. That's the average. At Express Credit Union, our card rates vary from that. So again, like that's how we work for our members. So here's a quiz for you. If you want to borrow $1,000 for 90 days at the average rate, 28.19 APR, how much would be the total cost to borrow 1,000 for 90 days at this APR? Please pause now. Welcome back. Let's check your answers. To borrow $1,000 for 90 days at 28.19% APR, after those 90 days, you would pay this much. Not bad. An extra $69. Not bad. But what if I told you they're both better and worse? Because as I mentioned, some people might not qualify for credit cards. And hopefully, if you're all watching this, you're members of Express Credit Union. So there are better and worse. Let's look at some right now. Car title loans. The average auto title loan is APR is currently 300%. Wow. Right? Like I said, like still not that low. It's lower, but it's still not that low. What's the total cost to borrow $1,000 for 90 days at 300% APR? Feel free to pause now and guess. Welcome back. That's a lot more than credit cards, right? 300% APR. The total cost is $1,739 just for 3 months. That's a bit much, isn't it? So let's take a look at this. The average payday loan is 391% APR, but we've done it before. Do you remember? What was the total cost to borrow $1,000 for 90 days at the average payday interest rate of 391? Feel free to pause now. Welcome back. Let's see if you remember the answer. Yeah. The average credit card, if you remember, was just $1,000.69, whereas now we're getting close to 2,000 at $1,965. That's a lot more, isn't it? But for Express Credit Union members, personal loans, Express personal loans, of course, they require a credit check, but look at this. As low as 8.74% APR, depending on your credit score. By the way, just a shameless self-promotion. If you're curious about how to increase your credit score, we also have a workshop for that. And you can also find me on our website and schedule a time with me. I'm a licensed financial counselor where we can work on just your credit score. Details about that at the end. But let's move on. What's the total cost to borrow $1,000 for 90 days at 8.74%? Feel free to pause the video now. Welcome back. 20 bucks. After 90 days, 20 bucks. That's a lot better than 900, isn't it? And still better than the average credit card rate. The express version of an auto title loan is called the Not Quite Classic / Viejo Auto Loan, where you can use older vehicles of up to 25 years old, up to 250,000 miles as collateral. And if you own the car outright, it could be a way to get a loan with a lower interest rate than an emergency payday loan. And because you use your car as collateral, if your credit's not so great, it's still okay. The average is 18% APR, again, depending on your credit score. But do you remember 18% versus 300%? What's the total cost to borrow $1,000 for 90 days using our Not Quite Classic / Viejo auto loan? Feel free to pause now. Welcome back. The total cost is, $1,044. Even if your credit score is not good, if you have a paid off car, that might be a great source of funds and collateral for an emergency loan. Moving on is our final loan called Member Advance Loans. This requires no credit check whatsoever. All you need is establish relationship with Express Credit Union and 3 months of direct deposit from the same source. So even if your credit is terrible or excellent, it doesn't matter, because all you need to get this loan is 3 months of direct deposit from the same source, usually your employer. 10% flat fee. So yeah, there's no need to calculate this one. We've done so before. To borrow $1,000 for 90 days at a 10% flat fee, just $1,100. So but Express Credit Union offers so many more loans than that, because other emergency loan options for our members can include suspended license loans for when your license is suspended and you need funds to pay for it, holiday loans around the holidays, citizenship loans for paperwork, for attorney's fees, DACA loans for the same thing. And my favorite is that all our rates are transparent. You can find them all on our websites. There's so many more products, so many more loan options, credit cards, personal loans, RV, boat, trailer, new cars, used cars, etc. And you can find it all in the following link. So let's compare. The average credit card, the total cost for borrowing $1,000 for 90 days is this, whereas the Express Credit Union answer, the personal loan, is this. They're quite similar, but still about $50. The average auto title loan, $1,739 versus Express Credit Union's answer, the Not Quite Classic / Viejo auto loan, is this, $1,044. Now you're starting to see a big difference. And this, the average payday loan, $1,965. That's crazy. versus Express Credit Union's member advance loans, flat fee. That's how Express serves our members. That's the benefit of an Express Credit Union membership. So, again, another quiz. Again, please choose the best answer and actually please try to pause. It's very important and it's more fun when you do stuff, right? I don't want to just talk at you. I want to talk with you. I want to make it as much of a conversation as possible, even if it's online. Loans can be calculated many ways. What's the easiest way to compare loan? Please pause now. Welcome back. The correct answers focus on the total dollar cost of the loan. And usually, if you ask, the loan department will help you calculate the total cost. What type of emergency loans does Express Credit Union offer? Please pause now. Welcome back. Hopefully, this was a gimme, right? Because we offer this, we offer this, we offer this, we offer all of the above and more. And you can find all the rates on our website. So, what can you do to prepare in case you need an emergency loan? You can build your relationship with Express Credit Union. Like I mentioned, start getting direct deposit with Express Credit Union so that you have that history. So you can qualify for the member advance loan. Use your account, deposit your checks, use your debit card, withdraw cash. You might qualify for loans and lower rates even with a bad credit score because you have a history of banking with us. Improve your credit score. It can take a long time, like 6 months to have credit history, even longer if you have negative credit history, like a bankruptcy or a late payment. It can be up to 7 years, but Express Credit Union can help there too. We offer normal secured credit cards and credit builder loans for you to start rebuilding and improving your credit score. But like I mentioned before, like I hinted, we also offer one-on-one financial counseling, which is free to all members. Financial counselors at ECU, including myself, are ready to work with you to achieve your financial goals, whatever they can be. All kinds of topics includes banking, budgeting, credit scores, planning for big purchases like a car, a house, available assistance programs in the area, investing you for the future, and so many more. We're ready to help you, and I would love to work with you and answer any questions you might or might not have. In a live workshop, I will put this link in the chat, but because this is pre-recorded, feel free to type it in to your browser, or you can also go to the Express Credit Union website, click the financial counseling tab. I think it's under like About Us or something. There's a financial counseling tab where you can set up a time with me or my financial counselor colleagues. Express Credit Union is here to walk alongside you towards a stronger financial future. And whether it be emergency loans, whether it be improving your credit score, or any other questions that you might have, we are here for you. So, final quiz time. Again, choose the best answers. How can I better improve my odds of getting approved for loans in an emergency? Please pause now. Welcome back. The correct answer is this: building my relationship with Express Credit Union by having direct deposit and by using my account. Yeah, if we could all have and maintain a perfect, flawless credit score, right? That's a good answer, but it's not the best answer here. Of course, you can come in and talk with us. We love talking with our members, but definitely this is the best. Next. I want to wrap up with the same question that I asked you at the beginning. Let's say you need to borrow $1,000 for 3 months for an emergency. Maybe your car broke down. Maybe you need to do some house repairs. How are you going to get it? Using what we've learned in the workshop, what do you think is your best option for an emergency loan and why? For me, my best option is a personal loan. I don't have a collateral like a car, but my credit score is good. I wish it was better. And I don't want to pay high credit card interest rates for those 3 months. And that's why for me, a personal loan is the best. But what about for you? Please pause, take some time to think about it, and get back with an answer. What would you do if you need to borrow $1,000 for 3 months? Please pause now. Welcome back. Hopefully, now you have a better idea, a game plan of what to do if you need to borrow $1,000 for 3 months for an emergency. At the beginning of the workshop, I promised you a few things, and by the end of this workshop, let's review what you did. We by the end of this workshop, you will better understand the most common types of emergency loans. We looked at the many different types, better understand how to effectively compare loan rates, the total cost, principal, interest, fees, etc. Better understand how you can access affordable emergency loans through Express Credit Union by building and maintaining a relationship with Express Credit Union by using your accounts, by getting direct deposit, just by using your accounts. If you have any questions, feel free to get in touch with me at the email address below. You can also get in touch with me at the Express Credit Union website through the Financial Counseling tab. And if you can't find it, feel free to email me as well. Thank you so much for joining me on this virtual workshop. I hope this was helpful for you, and I hope to see you in a real live workshop in a different day. Thank you so much for your time.